Good morning and welcome. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. It is the 19th day of May, 2022. It is 58 degrees and cloudy here at Site B. I mean, like really cloudy here at Site B. Like almost dark cloudy. It looks like it's going to rain, except the weather report says nothing about rain. So I don't know. June gloom sucks, man. It is a very interesting weather phenomenon that seems to only happen around coastal towns with inlets and southern climate. I don't know. I mean, is it June gloom everywhere, or is it just a thing we have here? It's just awful. I mean, if there is a weather that serves no point, it's got to be June gloom, because you're just like, okay, if you're going to be cloudy, rain. Otherwise, I don't understand this. It's not romantic. You don't want to hear me talk about the weather. Okay, so we don't have a lot of news today. WizKids has announced that they're making figures for the new Dragons of Stormwick Isle based upon the characters portrayed in the new Dragons of Stormwick Isle, who bear a striking resemblance to characters from a certain beloved Saturday morning cartoon. So we have some figures, and they do look like slightly older versions of our friends from the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon. Now, repeatedly, Wizards of the Coast and WizKids have said that these have nothing to do with the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon. They're just an homage. So just the fact that there's this person who looks a lot like Presto, or a lot like me back when I had hair. No, I mean, I'd never walk around in the wilderness wearing robes, but that hat, man, that hat is styling. So yeah, we've got a figure that looks kind of like the Acrobat, or except they've got the Acrobat character wearing what looks like leather armor and carrying what looks like a club or a quarterstaff, so maybe she's supposed to be a monk. We've got a character who's a ranger who definitely looks like Hank. We've got a fighter paladin who looks a lot like Eric, who was my favorite character, by the way. We got Presto, of course, the wizard, Harry Potter. I mean, nobody who, unless you've seen the character in the cartoon, you're going to see the figure and go, that's Harry Potter. And then we've got this cleric lady who was never in the cartoon. We don't have a figure for the thief. We don't have a figure for the barbarian, Bobby. And we don't have a figure for Uni the unicorn, the token toy cute mascot. I'm sure I'm not the only one who was always confused by why Bobby had a unicorn following around when, you know, mythology has pretty much always told us that unicorns only follow around virgin females. So even back then we were like, wait, why is the unicorn following this kid around? Unless the unicorn knows something we don't. Anyway, so they have said that they are based upon them, an homage to the characters, but they are not the characters. And as I have repeatedly said, God, it would kind of suck if they are the characters, because that means they never got out of Dungeon Master's stupid thing. Now, there is an unofficial final episode based upon some scenes that were never seen and some storyboards and some conjecture that you can find on YouTube that gives an ending to the cartoon. And if you're really deep into the lore of the cartoon, then the ending sort of just finally makes you go, oh, okay. Or it just leaves you really angry. I mean, a lot of us, I think, who watched the cartoon as it got towards the end got really, like, you know, kind of upset because they're like, wait a minute. Dungeon Master could have sent them home at any time, and he was just sort of using them to do his work for him because he didn't want to. I'm an all-powerful being, and I could resolve these problems on myself, but no, I'd rather torture some kids. Yeah, so these things are available. And that's thankfully about it. We do have 2 other stories to address of the more controversial editorial type, but as regards to D&D news, we've got these figures. Yeah, and weird weather. And that's really all I have to say on both topics. If you appreciate this content, let me know. If you'd rather have me talk about something more stimulating like D&D controversy, let me know. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, please subscribe. Help me hit 1,000 subs by whenever. Until then, I'm going to finish my cup of coffee and put together my brain before we move on to the next story. As always, I have been your guide to all the tabletop role-playing game news, weather, sports, and general internet nonsense. Come on, let's go, Presto. Let's go. Let's see what you got. Goddamn Harry Potter ripoff. Get my day. Blah, 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 blah.